Hi, my name's Chris. Welcome to my new channel. Um, I'm going to take you this morning for a little walk around my neighborhood. I do this I don't know, every other day or so. And tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about the channel, what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be doing and showing you. And so I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope if you do, you'll hit the subscribe button, maybe the like button, and I'm going to see where this goes. So to start off, uh, I retired 12 years ago. I did a lot of different jobs and careers during my working days. Wait a second. Oh, a little slick here this one. We had some rain last night. Anyway, most of the time I was a licensed electrician in the city of Boston. Worked on a lot of the big buildings there. I worked in nuclear plants and paper mills and all kinds of big construction. Actually started in that when I was 15 years old. So I got a lot of experience in construction, maintenance, plumbing, all that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, I also had several different businesses of my own. I owned and operated a campground in Maine. Short time I had a mortgage company. I've owned a half a dozen houses in 4 different states. Done a lot of things. My interests are classic cars. When I was younger, I did a frame-off restoration on my 56 T-Bird. Sandblasted the frame in the driveway, put the car all back together. And we've done a lot of things. My wife and I lived on a boat in Boston Harbor for the last 10 years before I retired. Year-round, in the winter, yes. And no, it wasn't cold, which is what everybody asked me. So we've really loved it. And we sold that, bought a motorhome, did 10,000-mile trip around the country, ended up down in Florida, where we thought we would spend our retirement years. Had a great time there, lived there about 10 years. In the meantime, because I'm not a big fan of heat, we found a place to go in South America for the hot Florida winters. And so we ended up here in Medellin, Colombia. It's pronounced Medellin by the Paisa people that live here. Let's see if I can cross the street here without getting hit. There we go. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, AKA Adventure Grandpa. And I'm going to tell you that story in a little while, how that came to be what the name of my channel is. But anyway, back to Medellin. So we spent about 6 months a year here and about 6 months in the States. Now, you'll have to forgive me because we're about to make a climb up this hill. I'm going to turn the camera on, see if you can catch this is about a 30-degree incline. So You can see I'm not the only one out here exercising, but the incline increases to about 45% a little further up the road. So I get a pretty good workout, and I may get a little winded. And some of the neighborhood dogs don't particularly like us walking by, as you can hear. Anyhow, so we end up down here for 6 months a year, and people ask me, oh, isn't it hot, and this and that. This is called the City of Eternal Spring. Every day is basically a spring day. Temperature right now is about maybe 68 degrees. This is 1st of May, and it pretty much stays like this all year round. Never any real storms other than rain, and no hurricanes, no tornadoes, no bugs, no humidity. So it's a pretty nice place. There's some big dogs. This guy's huge. Muy grande. I don't know much Spanish, just a little bit. And so, our plan is to tell you a little bit about Colombia, living as an expat, a little more detail, how we got here, and what it's like. But first, we're going to take you back up to New England in 2 weeks for another adventure. I'm going to stop here, take a break, let you look out. It's a little bit cloudy. It's burning off. Colombia has a great metro system. Buses come by all the time. Taxis are really cheap. They've got a metro system, takes you all the way down the valley. Anyway, we'll get into all that probably in the fall when I get back from this next adventure. My life has been full of adventures. As I said, lived on a boat, lived in a motorhome, traveled all over the place. We've done a transatlantic cruise, all kinds of things. I wish I had been able to know about YouTube and do this 15, 20 years ago. Anyway, I'm not sure when YouTube started, but it would have been good. I do have some old videos I might try to put on. This is a 45-degree stretch of the walk. So I'm doing the best I can to talk and walk at the same time. We thought we had everything going pretty smooth. Life in Florida, life here. And then I have 3 grown kids. And up until 4.5 years ago, none of them had any grandchildren. 4.5 years ago, my daughter presented us with a fantastically beautiful, wonderful, intelligent young boy, because he takes after his grandfather. But they said this hill is getting a little steeper. I don't know if you can see behind me. it's it's pretty tough. Anyway, and then a year and a half ago, she went and had another one. So then, here we were in Florida, and not being able to spend much time with the grandkids. I every time I walk by a marina there, I kind of missed my boat that we lived on, and so we went for a while down there, and I was kind of not feeling as happy as I wanted to. So we made it to the top. Easy, wasn't it? For you, not me. Anyhow, I think take a picture of this. These things are around all year long. Buenos dias, senor. That gentleman's out here every day walking us. He came up the other side. Now he goes down this side. I think he might even do it twice. It's about a 1 mile trek for me. Anyway, getting back to the grandkids. So I was trying to think, we used to fly up from Florida for a few weeks or a month in the summertime and visit them. But they're busy, and they visited with us a little here and there, and we had a great time. But it wasn't really what I would like to have it be. And we'd fly back maybe again from here around the end of November for a week and have Thanksmas dinner with my kids and them, grandkids. But again, it wasn't really what I wanted it to be. Wasn't enough time. My grandfather had been a extremely important influence on my life. He was a very interesting man. He'd done a lot of different jobs and things like I have. He liked to eat strange foods like I do. And he was a musician. Like me. I've been playing guitar and singing since I was about 12. My wife plays the bass, saxophone, has recently taken drum lessons. And so we play at open mic nights here and there. Some of the other interesting things we do, which we'll get into in the future a little bit. Take you to some of them maybe. And I'm just going to show you this up the hillside here. This is what this whole area used to look like 10 years ago. It was all farms, horses and cattle, and then they started putting these up. And they've been building them like crazy. I bet you they've built 20 or more right around this area in the last 10 years. As we go down the street, you'll see a couple more just finishing up. And I guess there's plans to put more out in the field and possibly up in this field as well. I think there's a big sign up here. But anyway, so getting back to my grandfather, he taught me how to fish. He taught me how to clean fish. He gave me my appreciation for all types of music. And just in general, was a great guy. He had real cool roll top desk. And I used to, as a kid, I used to go into the little cubby holes. He had magnifying glasses and ink pens that went in ink wells and all kinds of interesting little things a kid might like to play with. And so I always envisioned myself, hopefully, if I've ever had any, being that kind of a grandpa for my kids. And I started to feel kind of bad about not being around them. And I saw pictures of the other grandparents, and they were there. They lived close by, and they were there on the weekends and birthdays and holidays and all kinds of things. And so I talked to my daughter one day, and I told her this. I said, I feel bad. I don't really know what to do about it. I don't know how to change my life around and so that we can do something. And she said, "Oh, well, that's all right, Dad. Don't worry about it. You can be the adventure grandpa." And so that's why I guess I'm the adventure grandpa. I started thinking about it, and it's true. I've just done so many things. These are a pretty plant. There's also all kinds of avocados. There used to be where this big building is across the street. This all used to be horses and cows. Oh, we got birds eating bananas here. But it used to be horses and cows, and then we had all kinds of beautiful birds and all kinds of fruit trees and bananas and all kinds of things. And they came and cut it all down. Anyway, so the adventure grandpa idea stuck in my head. And I said, well, what can we do? And then one day I walked by a marina in Florida. I said, what about if we got rid of the place in Florida and got a boat back up in Boston for the summer? And my wife liked the idea. So we started looking into it. I called the marina. They had space. They would save us a slip. And I started looking for a boat. We spent a lot of time figuring that out. Now, marinas in Boston charge by the foot. I had a 40-footer the last time. So, in order to save a little money, I found Cava has a 3607, they call it, a 36-foot aft cabin, which looked really nice and was 4 feet shorter, be a little cheaper. And I started looking around. A lot of them for sale all over the Northeast. And then I happened to find one, but it wasn't in the ocean. It was on a lake in New Hampshire. And it turns out it's only 45 minutes from where my daughter lives and the grandkids. And so one thing led to another. And a year ago, we contacted the owner and made a deal that he wanted to keep it for another season last summer. So we told him that we weren't really ready to do anything until this spring. And so he said, that works out great. So we agreed to buy the boat and get a little dry from talking here. We agreed to buy the boat, and last fall we finalized the deal, and it's right now sitting on the hard, wrapped in shrink wrap, up in New Hampshire. So, that same big dog, he is. Anyway, so we are in 2 weeks from today, actually. We will be in New Hampshire, and we will be going over to the boat and unwrapping it. I feel like as a kid at Christmas. This is the biggest present I've ever unwrapped, and it's all wrapped in shrink wrap. So we never have. We took a quick walk through it last summer. We went up for a month. Took a quick walk through. I haven't ever seen the engines. I've never looked in cabinets. I don't really know what's there. We know we're going to do a little different furniture in the salon, and I'm sure there'll be other things. I've got some projects planned that I intend to videotape here on the channel, so you can see how we do. Let's take you through. I'll take you through the whole process of unwrapping it, inspecting it, checking it out, see what's in there. You can come along with me, and we'll find out all about it together. And if you think that sounds interesting, hit the subscribe button or the like button, and that'll keep the channel up on your list of subscribers, and you'll be able to check back with me in a couple of weeks and see what it's all about. At the same time, we will be doing a lot of other things, not just the boat. I've got a 1987 Porsche 944. Runs really good right at the moment. We use the brakes, and I'm not sure I mentioned that I do pretty much everything myself. I've been sort of a jack of all trades, master of none. I've done all my own home remodeling. I've jacked one house up and put new sills under it alone. I've done remodeled kitchens, bedrooms, bathrooms. I've refinished hardwood floors, and I also love the garden. So I've had many vegetable gardens. I put in swimming pools. The list goes on, and I won't bore you with it all right now. But over time, I've been involved in all kinds of things. And like I said, the Porsche is going to need brakes and probably a muffler. So I intend to do that. So that'll probably be on one of the videos. Also, I happen to have a 23-year-old Harley Davidson. I don't do much with that other than polishing it, keeping it clean, and so forth. I change the oil and things like that, but a year or so ago, I just had it all gone through, and the great mechanic they have in Florida, and he did some of the things that it needed doing, and he took care of all that, so it's running really well. And so my wife and I plan to do some cruises around New England, up in the mountains, and we'll take you along for that too. Take you along for some motorcycle rides. First week of June up there, very close to us, is motorcycle week up at Weirs Beach in New Hampshire and Laconia, and I'm hoping to be able to go over to that with the bike, and I'll definitely take you with me. And I like to fish, so I plan to do some fishing up on the lake up there. And let's see, I don't know, I've covered a lot of it, but I think the big thing is that I might do some reminiscing over the things I've done over the last 50 years or something. The subtitle of my channel is something about "You're never too old." Sometimes I feel like that might not really be true, but given the fact that I'm doing all of this stuff still at my age, playing rock and roll music in the bars and walking a mile up and down the mountain, there's the new complex that replaced the horses and cattle, and unfortunately, but I guess you can't stop progress. It'd be nice if we could. Now this area right here is really scary. Come around that corner right there. The speed limit all around town, everywhere you go, is 60 kilometers, which is 37.2 miles an hour. And being from the States, it's like I can walk that fast. No, it's not that bad. But anyway, they don't. It's funny. I wish it was a little clearer out today, but you can see a little bit of the city. This is Medellin, like you said, Medellin, and they don't look down that way. That's the main city way down there in the clouds. That's what it is this morning. The clouds just sank in over us. But it's a beautiful city. They have all kinds of wonderful things that I'll tell you about. You know, aquariums, museums, planetariums, all kinds of things to do. Parks, eco parks all over the place. We've got one about 10 minutes from here. This beautiful eco park, and you can take the Metro Cable, which is a cable car system like you see a ski area. Take that up over the top of the mountains and up down the other side to an eco park. Really, really great day. We'll take you on that too. And it'll be and anyhow, we're getting close to home. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should tell you. Offhand, I think I'm going to try to live up to the adventure grandpa moniker and see if it's really true. I hope to take the grandkids on some of these adventures. Maybe you'll meet them. And see if my daughter minds that I put them on YouTube, and we'll check that out. Oh, excuse me. I'm walking kind of slow. I catch my breath. Anyway, that's I guess that's about it for now. I think, like I said, if you think this would be something you'd be interested in, please click the subscribe button. This is a brand new channel. I've never done this before. In fact, I'm going to do my best to learn a little bit of video editing and that kind of thing. And we'll see how it goes. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you think you want to. And we'll hopefully see you in another video in a couple of weeks.